thank you very much for the introduction. I want to acknowledge my colleague, of course, the Honourable Al Gossel, the Minister of State for Sport for the Government of Canada. Also, two of our colleagues in the House of Commons, Members of Parliament Chisu and Carmichael are here, Minister Susan Chan from the Government of Ontario, and of course, my friend Mayor Rob Ford, and members of the Toronto 2015 Organizing Committee and guests. It is good to be home in the GTA. I left Ottawa early this morning. It wasn't as warm. A lot of grumpy people. Now I'm in this happy place in the Toronto waterfront, and all the smiling athletes and great accomplishment. Very positive attitude here in Toronto and the GTA. I am excited to be here as we set the stage for the upcoming 2015 Pan American Games. Je suis très heureux d'être in better shape than most countries in the world, and we've come out of it relatively well. We have modest growth. We have very good job creation numbers this morning. We have done our budget, which is long-range, forward-looking, jobs, growth, and long-term prosperity. Sound public finances is the foundation for the growth of our economy here. Now, part of that strategy is making sound strategic investments in initiatives that will have a long-lasting, positive economic impact on our country. And the 2015 Pan American Games are a good example of an initiative that reaches well beyond sport and community benefits. Hosting the Games in 2015 will have enduring economic benefits for the GTA, the region, and our nation as a whole. That is.
Well, thank you, Mr. Flaherty. I appreciate the grand, long introduction. I really appreciate you being here, and certainly all of you. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm very proud of the work of so many as we update our progress and outline the Pan Am vision. I'd like to recognize my colleague Michael Chan, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport. Of course, we just heard from Mr. Flaherty, Minister Gossel, my federal partner in these games. Mayor Ford and members of City Council are here. Ian Troop, the CEO of the Games. Roger Garland, the board member, the board chair, as well as Sylvie Bernier and Charmaine Brooks, our wonderful hosts today. To the board members at Toronto 2015 Games, the Organizing Committee of 2015, the Provincial and National Sports Organization, the Canadian Olympic Committee, and the Paralympic Committee, the staff at the Ontario Pan Am Secretariat. I thank you all, but especially, and not least of all, our fabulous athletes. None of this would be possible without your dedication, discipline, and determination to achieve your goals and make us proud. C'est un grand privilege to represent the Premier and the Ontario government as we embark on the next leg of our historic journey towards the 2015 Games. In a moment, Ian Troop will unveil our revised venue clusters and discuss the scope of the new Pan Am sports facilities. It's an exciting plan that will deliver an exciting interactive set of games for Ontario and for Canada. And that's why we're calling them the People's Games. They'll be affordable, they'll be accessible, and they'll provide exceptional conditions for athletes, Ontarians, and visitors to our province. It's a plan that will deliver upon the Premier Dalton McGuinty's vision more than 4 years ago when he started going after these games. He recognized early on his tremendous potential to provide much-needed sports infrastructure for Ontario and lasting economic and social benefits for our children and grandchildren. That foresight is paying off. The People's Games will be one of the largest economic drivers in the Greater Golden Horseshoe over the next 3 years. It's triggering investments in infrastructure that only comes from hosting major international sporting events. Our high-performance athletes will soon be able to train and compete in world-class facilities right here at home. For more than 80 years, Ontario was never awarded nor selected to host big games. We now have an opportunity to broaden our reach for athletes, enhance our social and cultural programs, and bolster our economy. These games will be huge, with more than 10,000 athletes and officials coming to our province. It offers us an extraordinary opportunity to showcase our wonderful communities and cultural diversity on the world stage. Athletes will be welcomed and celebrated like champions, on their own, in their own home country, because so many of them live here too. Our new Pan Am facilities will be hubs of community activity, where Ontario families will enjoy access to sport and recreational centres for years to come. We make no apologies to support these legacy venues. We have purposely shared the benefits throughout the region. And these important venues are on track, including the new Scarborough Pan American Aquatics Centre Fieldhouse and the new Canadian Sport Institute of Ontario. There'll be the redevelopment of the Iverwind Stadium in Hamilton, a new Pan American Athletics Stadium at York University, and Canada's only four-season, all-season velodrome in Milton. Markham will be home to a Pan Am Centre with a pool, and Etobicoke Olympia will now be renovated. And University of Toronto's Pan American Field Hockey Centre will be coming to St. George's campus. These are just to name a few. The construction of these facilities, along with its operations, will create 15,000 jobs right across the province. And another 5,200 jobs are being created by the province's redevelopment of the West Don lands. This community village will house athletes and coaches from 40 different countries. It will then become home to thousands of Ontarians, such as the George Brown College residents, market condominiums, and affordable housing. And we're proud to also introduce a new state-of-the-art YMCA in the village too. And let's be clear, the Games have accelerated this major waterfront revitalization by 10 years. It's also the driving force behind the Union Pearson Airport Rail Link, a new transit corridor that will finally connect the busiest airport in Canada to the biggest city in Canada, as well as accelerate the much-needed redevelopment of Union Station. That alone will create another 1,200 jobs while removing 1.2 million cars off roads in its first year of operation.
Merci d'être ici aujourd'hui. Il me fait grand plaisir d'être parmi vous. Y bienvenido. That's an important event. It cannot happen with a lot of partnerships. I would like to thank the representatives of the federal and provincial governments sharing this important day with us, and more than that, sharing that partnership to ensure these games are everything they can be for this region. I would like to thank Mayor Ford for his participation. I know his commitment to youth and development of youth through athletics is unparalleled. It's great to have you here today. So the three levels of government and corporate, the involvement we have as a community in what these games can be. When we invite 41 countries, 10,000 athletes and officials playing in 36 Pan Am sports, followed by the Para-Pan Games with 15 added sports. Every one of those 41 countries have a large community here in Toronto, which will make these games a special event for the region and will make every one of those countries feel like they're playing home games. I think this will be a fantastic event. We're looking forward to bringing it. There's no doubt that TO 2015 will be the People's Games. It will be intimate. We're having venues where you can see and feel the competition and see those athletes truly competing. It will be authentic. It will be accessible and affordable. We like to think about the fact we want to make these games such that a family of four can afford to bring the kids and experience everything it has to be about the cultures and the sporting event itself. It only happens all too infrequently now with our professional sports. This will be an opportunity for us. We are committed.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Honorable Finance Minister, Mr. Flaherty. Thank you. The best Finance Minister in the world. Thank you. And colleagues, colleagues from the Parliament, Senator Bim Kosher is here, and it is great to be here today to celebrate a milestone on the journey towards 2015 Pan American Games. We're joined by Minister Sousa, Mr. Chan, who are representing the Government of Ontario, Mayor Ralph Ford, City of Toronto, Toronto 2015 Organizing Committee, of course, some of our Canadian athletes. Thank you for being here. As Minister of State for Sport, I couldn't be more excited to be here as we gear up to host the Americas in 2015. I had the pleasure of witnessing our athletes in action in Guadalajara, Mexico last fall, and it will be great to bring these games to Canada where they can compete on home soil and once again show the rest of the hemisphere that they bring what they bring to the playing field. The Harper government is proud partner in hosting these games right here in the Golden Horseshoe, not far from my hometown of Brampton. Today's announcement of the main cluster locations for sport and cultural events is an indication that planning is proceeding and that their games are drawing closer. In only 3 short years, we will welcome young athletes from across the Americas to this wonderful part of our great country. The 2015 Pan American Games will be one of the largest multi-sport events ever hosted in Canada. Toronto will welcome some of Hemisphere's top athletes in addition to the best up-and-comers who will benefit from this great competition right here in Toronto. Furthermore, these games play an important role in the development of Canadian athletes by providing valuable training and experience and preparing them for future international competitions, including Olympic and Paralympic Games. As the largest single contributor to sport in this country, our government is committed to promoting the culture of sport and physical activity. We want to ensure that Canadians of all ages and all abilities have the opportunity to get involved in sport and physical activity to get benefit from active and healthy lifestyles.
Minister Gossip. Minister Sousa, in your remark, you mentioned about our Premier Dr. McKenty worked very hard to make this game possible. Yes, he did. I was witness. 4 years ago, Premier Dr. McKenty, he worked so hard and so eager to get this game. He made a trip. He made a trip to Beijing Olympic, find the opportunity to engage and talk to all those Olympic members, Olympic Committee members from America, and subsequently, with all the great work of our partners, industry leaders, we landed the game. And 2015, we are going to host the Pan American Game right here in this beautiful city we call Toronto. It's a pleasure to join you, coaches, and the people of Ontario. Across the Golden Horseshoe, our talented athletes will have the necessary facilities to train and compete from Toronto to Mississauga to Markham and beyond. The legacy of these venues will bring great opportunity for our young people across the region as our children and families enjoy access to much needed recreation facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, sport is an important player in Ontario's tourism industry, a sector that generates $22 billion into our economy, supporting 330,000 jobs.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I want to recognize our lead down at City Hall. The council that works morning, noon, and night on the Pan Am Games, Mark Grimes from Ward 6, Etobicoke Lakeshore. Thank you, Mark. And talking about young athletes, I see a good friend of mine in the crowd, Dana McKeel. He covers high school sports like no other. I want to thank you for supporting the young athletes. Thank you so much, Dana. It's a great pleasure to be here today in such great company to announce a key milestone for the 2015 Toronto Pan Am Games. As you just heard, we're moving forward with an exciting plan to group venues together. This will be a spectators, organizers, and most importantly, the taxpayers. Toronto will host 5 of these Pan Am venue clusters with many exciting events in Etobicoke, Scarborough, downtown Toronto, North York, and Exhibition Place. Spreading these clusters across the city means the experience and lasting legacy of the Games will be spread fairly across Toronto. The Pan Am Games partners are working hard, very, very hard to ensure the economic infrastructure and community benefits last long after the Games have ended. As we continue to prepare for the 2015 games. Anticipation will grow as people look forward to experiencing world-class sporting events, which I saw firsthand in Guadalajara. Right here in Toronto, residents will be able to see the very best from the sports fields, pools, and pitches. But folks, what we won't see before the games is the hard work and dedication of the athletes who will compete here in Toronto. To all these athletes, hard work and dedication. As soon as I walked off the plane, the excitement, the volunteers, the rah, 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 the patriotism, it was incredible. And you went down there and it was like one huge happy family. Millions and millions of people singing off the same song sheet. And I'm a true believer in it. I saw our Canadian athletes, I toured the village. It will be amazing what's going to happen in the city.
With the recent backing out of the building of the cricket stadium by the Honourable Mayor, where does Brampton stand? Is it taking part in any way in the games, or it is a total shutout?
Okay. Well, you know, we learned a while back to let the municipalities decide what they want to do. I've got a few bruises from trying to intrude. So from this standpoint, we're letting Brampton decide what Brampton wants to do. We're proceeding in parallel to develop our baseball, softball venue. We've been out with expressions of interest, have some great interest from the different municipalities. Our primary interest is making sure that baseball, softball are ready to go, that's what we're focused on.
Cricket is a no-go.
Well, cricket's never been part of the Pan Am sport profile. It's not an Olympic sport yet, so from that standpoint, it's never been on the program.